Good evening, my name is Garrett and welcome to The Last Call. Tonight's final drink is from Green River. This is their Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey, coming in at a 45% ABV. No age statement on the bottle, but at least 2 years old. So this seems to be a newer brand that's kind of hitting the shelves, especially here in Indiana. I'm starting to see it pretty commonly now. And I'll be honest, the bottle is what caught my eye. It's partly rounded. It's got this big old flat spot on there. Not sure why, but if anything, it looks really cool. But this seems to be one of those stories of an older distillery that's being brought back up to today. If I remember right, it's one of the further points on Kentucky Road now, but they're down there. So we do know a mash bill on this, which is kind of interesting. So it's 70% Kentucky grown corn, 21% winter rye, and then 9% malted 2 and 6 row barley. So very specific grains, especially going with winter wheat and the 2 and 6 row barley. You know, Kentucky grown corn, that's interesting enough, especially, using what's around you. That's always a good thing. But I'm interested to see what comes across in something like this. So, as always, we're going to be trying it 2 different ways. First way, neat, no ice, no water. Second way, we'll add a drop of water, see what changes up. And as always, make sure you like the videos, subscribe to the channel, all that kind of good stuff. I don't know what to compare this to, so let's say this. I'm going to put some other Kentucky Row, Whiskey Row bottles up above and down below for you to enjoy after this one. Because I have several of them. But if the flavor changes up, we might see some different videos up there. We'll see. All right. So yeah, I was down in the Indianapolis area and ran across this, and I was like, man, that sounds interesting. And now all of a sudden I'm seeing it about every one of my liquor stores. Beautiful dark color. Yeah. A little dark brown golden going on. So, let's go for notes. Oh, smells like a very solid Kentucky Straight Bourbon whiskey. It's a very cherry forward whiskey. Nice layer of spice in there, but that cherry is very much like a natural dark cherry. I like that nose. A little bit of spice in there, but the wheat coming across is very soft and subtle, and I'm digging it. You do get a bit of corn in there. It's not off-putting, but you can tell it's there. There's a nice dry layer going on as well, but very subtle spices. I like this. I'm excited now. Well, let's go for taste. Drink's a little warm. Drink's a lot warm. It's kind of building there a little bit. Very simple on the taste. You get definitely your oak vanilla caramels. The wheat going on in here is very, very well rounded. There's a nice layer of a spiciness going on too. It's evolving as I keep going on and on. So let's give it a moment here and try it again. Bit of chocolate in there. Getting some chocolate going on now. That is very, very good. Still get the cherry on the taste. And again, that oak vanilla caramel, your classic bourbon whiskey notes. But it's sweet. And that definitely, you get that tart cherry, bit of chocolate, almost chocolate covered cherry, but not quite. The barley is just enough, and that layer of corn isn't strong enough to be off-putting. This is a very interesting bottle with those grains. I'm really digging this. I like that little bit of spice going on in there. Oh man, that is unique. Definitely, I don't think I have anything like this in that realm. Maybe it's close to New Rift. Maybe. Man, that is so close, I think. Especially on some of New Rift's more interesting bottles. That is really good. I like this a lot. The only criticism I have is it drinks warmer than 45. And that might be because of its age. That is 100% a possibility. It might be because of age, it's drinking warmer than what it really is. Okay, Let's add a little bit of water, see what changes up. Proof it down just a little bit. All right, let's go for notes. Tart cherry sweetness, bit of spice. A lot sweeter than a neat version. This, you're getting a little more of the spice characteristics out of there and a bit more grain on the nose. Here, you're getting this sweet vanilla, caramels, oaks, that bit of sweet spice going on. That's nice too. I like that nose. The ABV is peeking through just a little bit, but it's not overly peeking through. But let's go for taste. Grain notes do show up a little bit more. The tart cherry definitely is dominating here. The grain notes show up, and then you get a little bit of spice and thinness, which is expected. Surprisingly, it doesn't drink super warm. I was really hoping that water would tame it down a bit, and it did. Almost craft-like. I tend to put craft whiskey having this wood varnish over antique furniture note, and it's just teetering close to that, but it's got a little more waxiness to it, and not as much of the antiqued, well-kept furniture note. Still not bad. Yeah. If anything, maybe the grains show up a little bit on it, but it's really, I almost kind of like that a little better. Almost. Let me go back to the neat version. I kind of do. This has that bit of warmth from the ABV. This dials that back, but you still get a lot of good flavors. The only criticism I have on this one is the finish speed runs itself. It doesn't give you a lot to kind of grab onto and hold onto. It just kind of goes and it's done. As always, it doesn't matter what you drink or how you drink it, as long as you enjoy it. Both are really interesting. I'm digging it both ways, and I could definitely see this being maybe a decent staple on a lot of shelves right now. So, all right, let's talk about market price, because we all know market price is market price, and it's always going to vary. I ended up paying, I think, $35 for it. I've seen most places in my market tend to dance as low as like 33, 32, all the way up to like 35, 37. And honestly, I think that's not a bad range for it. Being in the mid 30s is probably where it needs to be, if not maybe sub mid 30s, so like 33, 32s. But I think it's pretty decent pour. Doing the unique grains is really good. I like that. I like that they're transparent on that. I like the unique bottle shape. I think everything they're doing is doing right. Maybe it just needs aged a little bit longer, and I think you could have a really solid bottle here that could garnish a higher price point. The flavors coming across are unique. I love the incorporation of that winter rye. It's bringing across some very subtle waxiness. That beautiful spice is in there. The barley is showcasing really well. I really can't criticize it. I think mid-30s is a fine enough asking point. As always, if you can get a little cheaper, do it that way. But either way, it's a really solid pour. I can't criticize it too much. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Green River Kentucky Straight Bourbon Whiskey. If you have any questions about the bottle itself, let me know down in the comment section below. I will do my best to answer it. And if you have any specific spirits I should go looking for, also let me know down below. I love doing these reviews and sharing with you the experience at home. And as always, may your last drink of the night be the best one.
You know, I really like it. Might not.